I just realized that LEGO is more than just a toy. It's also perfect for building intricate machines that actually work just like the ones in the real world. In this video, let's explore the possibilities and see how I can turn these bricks into ingenious machines. First up, we have a common mechanism called a camshaft. You can find these in almost every engine. I'm starting by putting some colored tiles on this plate and attaching a transparent bar. Then I'll add a few more on top of the base, linking them directly to the cams. Next, I'm building this piece and placing it right next to the rainbow trail. If you are old enough to remember the classic Nyan Cat meme, then you probably know where I'm going with this. So, this is my motorized LEGO version of Nyan Cat. Complex machines are everywhere, like the tiny SD card lock hidden inside your camera. I have a real SD card here, and I made a LEGO version, the macro SD, I suppose. To lock it in place, I designed this lock with a spring-loaded mechanism. Just push the SD card in and it's locked, even if you flip the whole thing upside down. Press it again and it unlocks. This mechanism is built to work over and over again. You probably noticed this notch right here. That's exactly how it locks into place. There is a bent orange LEGO piece, and when the 10 structure is pushed down, it toggles that piece so the tip sits perfectly inside the notch, preventing the card from slipping out. Let's take another look. The SD card pushes the 10 structure, which in turn toggles the orange piece. Next, let's take a look at this unusual LEGO piece. It has a ridge on top and can be clipped to other identical pieces to form a chain. You can even place minifigures on it, just like a conveyor belt. I'm turning the chain into a loop, which is the key to a very helpful machine we use every day. Once I add the handrails and the sides, you'll see it's actually an escalator. It actually works for minifigure passengers. The ridge holds the minifigure firmly on the belt, and the handrail helps them stay upright as they reach the bottom. If you've ever owned a cassette player, you know they're full of buttons. This time I'm recreating the stop, play, and rewind mechanisms with LEGO. We've already got the spring structure in place, but this next step is the most important part. Notice these 3 slope pieces, they pair up with 3 red pins correspondingly. Next, take a white LEGO rubber band and stretch it tightly over 2 pins. When you press the gray axle, the red pin below pushes the yellow slope piece, and just like that, we are finished. I also wanted to use some weird minifigure heads for the buttons, so this is how it works. Rewind, play, and stop. Like I said, the yellow slopes are very important. Imagine we're inside an airplane. I'm not designing the whole plane, but rather a small mechanism found in one, the armrest. When you raise it, it stays in the horizontal position to support your arm's weight. To reset it, you have to lift it even further before you can lower it down. The key is this tiny piece which fits inside a part with a specially designed curved slot. First, attach the larger part to the wall, then fit the tiny piece into the center, and finally attach the armrest. So how does this work? Raising the armrest toggles the tiny piece, causing it to get caught in the center of the slot. You can't lower the armrest unless you lift it again to clear the lock. The internal motion is just so smooth and elegant. Next, let's take a look at the helicopter blades. I built this machine to demonstrate how the blades generate different types of airflow. Once I turn the power on, I can adjust the pitch of the blades by turning this handle. I'm using a tissue to make the airflow visible. At this angle, the air is being blown upwards, which would actually push a helicopter down. But if I turn the handle, the airflow shifts and blows the tissue downward, which is exactly what lifts a helicopter into the air. I have another build that uses these helicopter blades. Take this Superman minifigure for example. By using these 2 gray worm gears, I can make him spin in a circle while keeping him facing the same way. If you swap the minifigure for the blades, you can power a helicopter just like you are pedaling a bike, but only if you are fast enough. I mean, really fast. Here's a skeleton minifigure. Let's start by detaching its arms. I'll take a bar with a stud and slide the arm onto it, then literally arm the arm with a sword. I'll do the same for the other side and give it a shield. Now we have some fully armed arms. Next, I'm building a base with 2 different size gears and mounting the arms on top. Finally, I'll take this torso and fix it right between the arms. Just like that, we've built a skeleton warrior that bends its sword against its shield. Plus, I can link the gears together to create a line of skeleton warriors all moving in perfect sync. Next up, we're building those classic subway doors that slide and retract into the train. I put this together to demonstrate the door's unique rotating and panning motion. I'll set the 2 doors in position and add 2 panels to guide them, then finish off the frame with these 2 PCs. And there we go, a fully functional subway door system. You can see the doors pan in and out as they open and close. Also, it's a very compact build considering it has 2 sets of motion. To continue, we have a minimalist Gumball machine. These colored round tiles will be our Gumballs, and the rest of the build uses fewer than 10 PCs. Here we go, the Gumballs rattle around inside, but there is no way to get them out. To fix that, I came up with a design that actually works. This half-round brick solves the dispensing issue with just 1 single Lego piece. Next, we will add some transparent parts to create a candy container. I've got plenty of Gumballs in various colors ready to go. Just drop them in and close the lid. Now when you rotate the yellow gear, the machine dispenses a Gumball. It works rotating in either direction, and if you wanted to build a version that requires a real coin, you can check out my previous video linked in the top right corner. Next, I've written numbers on this round Lego piece to turn it into a combination lock. I also designed a round internal structure with a notch on it. With 3 of these sets in total, I will attach the notched parts to the number parts to complete the dials. Next, I'll mark the passcode location on these white corner tiles. The blue Technic parts will act as the bolt. Once the dials are in position, the lock is ready to test run. Right now, it's locked. Let's start by spinning the first dial to 3, the first number. Then I'll turn the second dial to 5. The goal is to get all 3 notches to align perfectly. The last number is 7. Now that the notches are lined up, the blue beams can slide right in, and the lock is released. You can move the bolt now. Finally, we've come to my secret weapon, the Lego switchblade. You don't want to leave the rubber band stretch for too long. Now, it's showtime. It's fully automatic, and once the blade is deployed, it locks firmly in place. It won't retract until you press the button to sheath it. In slow motion, you can see the secondary rubber band that provides the power to launch the blade. The red rubber bands are in charge of the locking mechanism, ensuring the blade stays exactly where it should. So, which one is your favorite Lego machine?